Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Naima Singletary here with the power to lead. And my gift to you today is how to watch yourself without judging yourself. How to watch yourself without judging yourself. The lighting is kind of weird today, huh? Or is it just me? So I came up with this topic because, a Monday I talked about bringing the future into now. And the whole process of being a human being every day, right? You go to sleep, you wake up, you deal with people. Sometimes you wake up and feel like crap. Sometimes you wake up and you feel fabulous. Something happens on the road. Something happens with the client. Something happens with your mom. Something happens with a friend. Something happens with your kids. Something happens with your back. Something happens with your teacher. Something happens, right? And in all that, here you are birthing signature work. Here you are leading the thing that compels you, that pulls you, that you were born to do. And the mind is going 24/7 whether you wanted to or not. The brain is just constantly. You know what? One thing I think. Hold on. I wonder if that makes a difference as far as lighting is concerned. Maybe a little bit. So the brain is going constantly, and it's thinking, and it's just like its own machine that most people have not learned to tame. And I want you to learn how to tame it so you can use it and it doesn't use you. So historically, and you have done this, it's just what it is. Everyone does it until they learn how to get mastery over their brain. So historically, you'll be thinking and you'll create stories in your thinking, right? So I always forget to lotion my hands before the show. Look. So, you'll be thinking about, I'm going to make up something. Let's say, can I think of something? I would have to take time more than I want. So something with a guy you're dating, right? Or something in business, something with a client, or something with a decision that you made in business, right? Okay, and then the actual thing that happened, you start to think about, right? So let's say the thing is, okay, you decided to do this collaboration, and your brain, part of you is excited about it, most of you is excited about it, and then a part of you is like, I don't know, right? So then that's the actual experience that you had, right? Then before you know it, your brain goes into creating another story from that, right? Saying, oh, well, gosh, what if this really goes bad? Like, this is what the brain does, right? Gosh, what if this really goes, oh, God, right? And then it goes from that to another story. God, if that happens, then these people are going to say, and then this is going to happen. And then from that, another story goes out. And before you know it, you're way out there and you've created 20 different stories that are all made up, right? Then there's a situation where there's like, you did something, you had an experience, whatever the thing is, right? You had an experience. And then there's this other person inside your head starts to talk about the thing, right? Gosh, and it's, why did you do that? And oh God, see, that's why you shouldn't be doing this. See, I told you not. It's like, oh God, and then before you know it, not even your true self, but this other self has caused you to dwindle down into this condensed, scary version of yourself, right? You've been there, right? So then, can you imagine having that being the dominant way of operating when you're leading work in the world, when you're highly visible, when you're leading a team and working with clients and, collaborating and dealing with the media and, thinking big and risking big. Could you imagine having that brain? I mean, look what you did. You made a mistake, and who are you? And we're going to hell, right? So how do you navigate the reality of mistakes, the reality of making big decisions, the reality of stepping into greater power, the reality of birthing signature thing? How do you continue to move in that direction and still thinking highly of yourself in all things, regardless of the mistakes you make, regardless of, all the stuff that's inevitable? It's learning how to look at yourself without judgment. It's learning how to be able to look and have objective, kind of like how you go to other people to bounce ideas off and get objective, but that's still their perspective. It doesn't even mean it's objective. It just means it's their opinion and their perspective, right? So how do you do that for yourself, since your brain is going 24/7 anyway, and you must gain mastery over your brain? It's going to take you to hell if you don't learn to get some serious control. And then also practicing the magic of choosing your thoughts, choosing what you want to think. There's information everywhere to tell us how to think. I mean, go on to the news. You want to be afraid? You want to like think that, you know, if you want to be afraid of everybody and afraid of the coming recession and afraid of your neighbors and afraid of that guy on the street and afraid of, go watch the news. You want to be told how to feel, how to think, what to eat, go look at the blogs and the media and the, right? But the real magic and what I call creating your own world is learning how to be in control of your own mind. And so when you're an average person, that's good. But when you're people like us, when you're birthing things that the world has yet to see, when you are hugely risking, when you're a big risk taker, when you are bringing people along your vision and you're navigating not only your own mental state, but then being with people, leading people, serving people who are also having their own emotional and mental realities, who will you be? You must be really strong in mind and be willing to practice your own level of magic. So how do you do this? This is like we're starting to get into homework territory now, what I want you to do once you leave this video. So first of all, remember yesterday I started to talk about this. I love how this all works out. I started to talk about learning how to separate fact from feeling. Remember? Learning how to separate fact from feeling. Feeling is a real feeling, but remember they're fleeting and they're not indicative of the reality of everything that's going on. So you know how earlier I talked about, let's say you made a decision about a collaboration and like you feel 95% good about it and 5% about it, you're like, I don't know. And then out of that, you start to create all these stories, right, that are not real, but you feel some kind of like, maybe some doubt, maybe some, can I follow through on this? Will I fail? Like those are all feelings and has nothing to do with the actual facts of the matter. So one is learning how to separate fact from feeling. Please write this down, write this down, write this down. Learn how to separate fact from feeling. Okay? And a lot of things you're going to hear me repeat because they're that important and because we are repetitious creatures. We'll hear a $1 million idea one time, forget about it. But after hearing it maybe the 27th time, sometimes it lands. So you're going to hear me repeat a lot of things. And this is one of those things you may hear me say again. Learn how to separate fact from feeling. The facts of the matter from how you feel about the matter. Okay? So that's one. Number two is learning how to witness having that second person. There's like the higher you. Then there's that person that looks at you and judges you like crazy, that tells you you made a bad mistake, you're a terrible person, you're never going to be successful. Like learning how to have a third person that looks at that person so you can really start to tease and really be able to identify that person so you don't make that person the real you. There's a lot of people living from that, shit talking evil person. Like they feel bad because that thing in their head always is saying bad things to them, making them feel, don't be that person. So part of how you look at yourself objectively is learning how to see the highness in you, the person that I talk to all the time when I speak to you in these videos, the highness of who you are, your natural state, your like your God-given position, which this world does not speak to, this world does not serve. So I'm glad you come here to get your medicine. Two, looking at that evil person that we all have in our head that talks terribly to us. And then three, the third person who is your wise person, who can look at that ugly person and say, oh, look, there it goes again, telling me that I'm insignificant and I'm not important and that I'm a failure and that nobody's going to listen to me and I'm going to end up under a bridge and why am I doing this anyway? And being able to look at that person and from that place, separating the fact from the feeling, focusing on where it is you want to go, stepping into your highness place, you see? That's your wisdom, darling. That's your gift. That's what I want you to do. So write that down to learn how to separate fact from feeling and recognize that you have 3 people going on, and you could have a whole hell of a lot more people going on depending on the dimensions that you navigate. That's a whole other video and conversation. Depending on the dimensions you navigate, you might have 20, 30 people going on inside of you. But I'm talking about these 3 primary people: your highness, the highness of you, that evil person that you have inside of you. And maybe you don't like the word evil, maybe that's strong, but the person who's not so nice, right? Like your opposing person. And then the person who's neutral inside of you, who can look at that person, your wise self, and say, there, and you can genderize it, whether it's male or female. There he goes again, telling me that I'm nothing. Oh, there. And then noticing, then you can start to play with it and have a relationship, and noticing, when does that person come up? Does that person come up when you are risking? Does that person come up when you're putting your creativity out in the world? Like, and really start to practice and study and know when this other person emerges. Because I'm telling you, when you are, typically for me, when I'm not risking anything, when I'm, just not out there, that person doesn't have much to say. But as soon as I decide to get big and loud and proud and risk and try again, that person suddenly comes out of the ether somewhere and has a whole heck of a lot to say. So pay attention to when yours emerge. Maybe yours emerges when you're on the couch binging on Netflix. I don't know. The point is to have the relationship so that you have power over it and it does not have power over you, okay? So I want to talk a bit about the 5-figure clients for Melanin Messengers course, which starts March 18th. You're going to be, I'm sharing about it here, but I have several affiliates who are sharing about it as well. I'm so excited about it. It's really in service to those of us who identify as Black, spiritually gifted, and know that we are here to change things. Although all people are welcome, I want to make that clear. All genders, all ethnicities are welcome. However, 50% of the curriculum speaks directly to the experiences of Black spiritual entrepreneurs who are who have always been different, who know their business are pathways to changing things. Oftentimes, speaking and writing are the ways that they're doing that. And so what I'm going to be adding to the bottom of these videos are some of the curriculum topics. And I can tell you right now, some of those are correcting a corrupted psyche, learning how to play, being in union with God in all things, converting power into big money. Like, we're really, here's like the nugget right here. Here's the nugget. The real focus of this course is closing the gap between who you are now, which is oftentimes with a corrupted psyche, and really cultivating the correct psyche, and really like destroying and annihilating all the gunk that gets in the way of you being your purest, truest, most, factual self. Remember I talked about separating fact from feeling? And the space between being that corrupted self into your highness, so that you easily and consistently convert 5-figure clients. If that's your goal, maybe it's like $5,000 clients. Maybe that would change your world. Consistent $5,000 clients. Maybe consistent $20,000, $50,000, whatever the number is. But our goal for the course is focusing on the 5-figure clients, which is $10,000 up to, technically it's up to $99,999. So the goal, though, is to really get you into your power with money and have you get comfortable with being publicly powerful. That is so important. So many of us are. That's our thing for this year: high visibility, high visibility, high visibility. And then being okay with having our face, our voice, what we really mean, who we really are out there, and then allowing that to meet with the money in the marketplace that is looking to be exchanged for what it is that we bring to the marketplace, okay? So there's going to be an event. We're in the planning stages right now. As a part of a bonus for the course, it looks like it's going to be in Atlanta. So, wow, extraordinary. There's some wonderful things. But if you know this course is for you, show yourself that you mean it and register. The links are below. You can pay in full at $1,000, or you can do 3-part payment. That link is also below, okay? So when you do the 3-part payment, you make your deposit of $340, and then every 2 weeks, the balance is paid split out in 3. So it's 341 week, 342 weeks thereafter, and then the final 342 weeks thereafter. We start March 25th. The deadline to register is March 18th. And what else? There's going to be a private Facebook group for everyone who's enrolled in the course. And there was one more thing I wanted to say. We'll be, the course will be taught via Zoom. All courses will be recorded, and you'll get the replay to access them whenever you'd like to, in the event that you can't make it, or even if you are present but you want to listen to it again. And it's going to be 12 consecutive Mondays starting Monday, March 25th. 12 consecutive Mondays starting Monday, March 25th. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel welcome to email me. My email is beneath this video, and I will look forward to, and also please know that I welcome your comments and questions. And I know not everybody is comfortable asking questions publicly, so you are welcome to send me questions in my email as well. That does happen. So feel welcome to do that, and also be generous and share this video. I will be back here with you tomorrow, same time. Lots of love. Bye-bye.